Hello there, audience. I am your host, James Tate. That is Kyle Nelson. And welcome to episode 20 of the Gilsson and Nold podcast.
Big 2-0. And well,
Big 2-0.
let's not waste any more time. Let's just get right to the, recap.
Recap. See, starting off with Falcons and Panthers, not much other to say than it was a boring fucking game.
Yep, but at least the Panthers uniforms look nice, so there's that.
Yeah. Then in Germany, the Seahawks lost to the Buccaneers 21-16 in what seemed like was going to be a blowout for the Buccaneers. Turned to an almost comeback.
And Geno Smith in that second touchdown drive made two clutch fourth down throws. So even though the Seahawks lost here, Geno Smith still looks really good. So things look bright for the Seahawks.
Then the Lions beat the Bears on the road. This being first road win for Dan Campbell and the first road win for the Lions since Matt Patricia was head coach.
And his back-to-back weeks where the defense helps him win.
And also back-to-back win for the Lions.
It's unreal.
Whoa. Also, this would be game of the week, or at least in the contention, if it weren't for another game that easily got it.
Yeah, but we'll get there soon.
Let's see, the Dolphins beat the Browns 39-17. It was a shocking, and the Browns are now just hoping that Deshaun Watson can turn their season around.
Yeah, that's not going to be happening.
Then the Titans beat the Broncos in the most Titans way possible. Score all of your points in the first half, and then do nothing in the second half, and somehow you win.
God. And also Nick Westbrook. Good guy.
Also, the Broncos have failed to get 16 points again.
Yeah, look at that. They even got less than that, 10.
The next up is my game of the week and possible game of the year. Vikings defeating the Bills 33-30 in overtime.
Talk about a crazy game. It had a comeback, it had high stakes in the final 2 minutes. Even the commentators themselves couldn't believe it. They were even saying it themselves, this is game of the year. And then came overtime where Vikings played smart ball by wasting most of the time, tiring out the Bills. So when they got the ball back, Josh Allen got a little bit nervous and threw a pick, which gave the Vikings the win, 33-30.
Also, this has to note, the commentary team for this game, perfect. I mean, better than Joe Buck and Troy Aikman by a landslide.
They're an underrated duo. They don't get enough appreciation. And thank God they're the ones commentating this game.
Oh yeah, it was such an amazing game. Also, Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs both had catches of the year, but I think Jefferson's going to be talked about more since the Vikings ended up pulling off the win.
Of course, but Diggs needs to be talked about too because it was still a beautiful catch that could have helped Bills win.
Could have, but it didn't. Also, slight note, I'm starting to notice more flaws with Josh Allen. It doesn't help that he leads the league in interceptions so far this year with 10, but I don't know, just he seems to be playing the hero ball more often than I prefer.
I mean, it's like the first half of this season, he was playing, well, first half at least, the first 10 games, he was playing, like, very Josh Allen-like. Now he's playing like 2018 Josh Allen.
It's not even that. It's more like, Aaron Rodgers in a sense, but minus the polish that Rodgers had in his prime.
Yeah, and picks. But still, Josh Allen still looks great. I mean, he got them into field goal range with under, 40 seconds left, with no timeouts, might I add.
That's just something to note for the future of the Bills. Let's see how that goes down for the rest of the season. Next up is the Giants beating the Texans 24-16, and what can you say? The Giants won.
And Giants get their best record start since 2008. So things look good for them. Brian Daboll, Coach of the Year.
The Chiefs beat the Jaguars 27-17, and it was shockingly close.
It was really close. My goodness gracious. Missed field goals is really what cost the Jaguars here.
Could have been 29-27, but no.
Nah.
They failed. Then, Steelers beat the Saints 20-10.
Just fire Dennis Allen, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah, there's even a petition for it, so fire him.
Just do it.
Then, my favorite game, not the best game of the week, but my personal favorite, the Colts beating the Raiders 25-20.
Jeff said, I don't know what happened, but this Colts offense and defense just stepped up. Like, there's a new environment, a new energy, and they just started playing like something that has not been seen since, my gosh, since I guess when Philip Rivers was starting at quarterback. Like, the offense wasn't struggling for once.
Matt Ryan also hit a 40-yard run, and he looked mobile.
He looked like Matt Ryan, kinda.
I mean, no fairness, Matt Ryan's never been mobile, but something else
Well,
to
not the
also
mobile
note
part. Just be playing like Matt Ryan. He's not no Lamar Jackson.
yeah, but also something to note is in the locker room, the team was just so happy to get the win. Jeff Saturday was giving a great speech. He congratulated the offensive coordinator he promoted from just an offensive assistant or an analyst to an offensive coordinator that's been with Frank Reich for a few years. And I mean, like the entire team just accepted the culture. The entire team got game balls, and I'm not gonna lie, Jim Irsay sounded drunk in the locker room.
Hey man, I'd be drunk too. This is a time to celebrate as a Colts fan. Be happy.
Now, if they can continue this success, which I doubt, but if they can continue this success, I'm going to be completely honest. It's going to set a new precedent and standard for the coaching hiring process whenever you think about it. Because most coaches have to go through years and years and decades of just being a assistant to an analyst to a coordinator to a coach and all this other stuff, like a position coach. So the fact that this guy, played for 15 something years, comes in first time head coach at a professional level and has this success, if this carries on, this continues, which I'm not saying it will, but if it does continue, this can set a new precedent for the coach hiring process, like how Sean McVay said it like only 4 or 5 years ago.
And I hope it continues like that, because people seem to forget that players also have a lot of knowledge in football. Maybe not coaching, but they have a lot of knowledge that could actually help them.
So we'll see how that goes. Also, this proves any coach is better than Josh McDaniels.
And Hackett.
And Hackett, though I am curious to see a Hackett McDaniels go at it.
By the way, oh god. By the way, Jeff Saturday's already scored more points than Hackett's had all season. Hackett's highest scored points is 23 points. That is and 21 as well in London, but 23 points. Jeff got it in one game with 25.
And those 23 points came against the Raiders, too, so...
Yeah. Raiders. Way to go, guys. It just further proves the point anybody's better than McDaniels.
Oh, yeah. The next game after that is the worst game of the week, possibly worst game of the year, Cardinals versus Rams.
Best way to describe it. Colt McCoy versus John Wolford. That's all.
Next is Packers beat the Cowboys in overtime 31-28. The Cowboys had a shot to, at least take control, have a 31-28 lead, but Mike McCarthy decided to go for it, and they failed. And I'm not going to lie, though, if Dak Prescott made that throw instead of throwing it a little bit too far to the left, that would have been the throw of the year.
But I must also want to make an underrated argument here. Cowboys should have lost this game not even going to overtime. They got 2 lucky fumbles that gave them the 2 touchdowns they got. They got very fucking lucky in this game.
This just proves a point to be had. Cowboys struggle against good teams. We've known this for the last 12 years.
They've known this since the 90s.
Yeah, so after this was Sunday Night Football, 49ers beating the Chargers 22-16, and man, Justin Herbert, he's looking a bit rough.
Yeah, I hate life a lot right now. We're 5-4.
Yeah. See, I have a reason to hate life. We're 3-7.
Yeah.
We don't have our first round draft pick either.
Well, buddy, at the end of the year, we'll both be sharing the same record anyways. So, see you on the other side.
I find it funny you think we're going to get more than 4 wins.
It's even funny. I think we're going to get more than even 3, but somehow you made it there as well.
True. And finally, Monday Night Football, the Commanders upsetting the Eagles 32-21. There was a big controversy around the whole situation with Tanecki taking a knee, and then an Eagles player, hit him right after the whistle was called. It's like, should have been unnecessary roughness, should have been late hit. Honestly, how I see it is, he gave himself up. Brandon Graham didn't need. He clearly saw him, clear as day. Didn't need to dive after him. I get there's a playing to the whistle situation, but whenever a quarterback takes a knee, even if the whistle is slightly delayed, hey, guess what? A quarterback took a knee. The play is dead right there.
I don't know what they're doing, but either way, I'm kind of glad they did it, because now 72 Dolphin fans can shut up finally. So
yeah, that was the recap. Now moving on to our players of the week. So
yeah.
I'm sort of curious if ours are any different. My quarterback of the week is Patrick Mahomes.
Mine's as well. I think we both didn't pick Kirk Cousins because he kind of played like shit. Patrick,
Also he went 30 of 50.
yeah, Patrick Mahomes actually got his team out of the shitter. That's the
Yeah.
reason why Chiefs won this game.
26 to 35, 331 yards passing, 4 touchdowns, 1 interception, 129.6 passer rating, 74.2 completion percentage.
Running back of the week. Let's see if we share this one as well.
Mine is Jonathan Taylor.
Same, Jonathan Taylor, and this is something I wanted to mention in the Raiders and Colts game, but I'll mention it here. I love that Jeff Saturday's finally using Jonathan Taylor. We all know he's talented, and finally, this season, he's finally playing like he did last season, and I hope it keeps up.
I'm going to be completely honest. I'm naturally biased to any coaches that use the run game more than the passing game more, and use
Especially
the
of
passing game
Jonathan fucking Taylor.
and also use the passing game for actual proper like 5 to 10 plus yards passes instead of 2 yard checkdowns. I hate that shit so much.
Yeah, and I live with
Jonathan, and Jonathan Taylor, 22 carries, 138 yards rushing, 6.7 average yard per attempt, and 1 touchdown. Now let's see if our wide receiver of the week is also similar. I doubt. Though.
Let's see.
Justin Jefferson.
Come on, man. He was the reason why that whole entire one-hand catch alone got him wide receiver of the week.
10 receptions, 193 yards receiving, 19.3 average yard per reception. I'm noticing 193, 19.3. They're the same.
Oh, he had to carry Kirk Cousins. Look at those stats.
And also a touchdown. Before we go to defensive player of the week, which we might have different on that one finally, but for me, the reason why this is also very important is Justin Jefferson pretty much recreated the Odell catch from like 6 years ago, which we're actually 8 years ago almost now.
Honestly, I could argue it's even more impressive considering he had some Bills defenders trying to take it down.
Yeah, and what's even more impressive for me is he went to LSU, and Odell Beckham Jr. went to LSU.
It's about the silly boy, so who has the better one-hand catch now, huh?
Oh, yeah. And then the defensive player of the week, which we undoubtedly have differently, mine is Patrick Peterson. Yeah, 3 solo tackles, 1 assisted tackle, but 2 INTs, with both of them coming in very key moments in the game.
Mine is Isaiah McDuffie, 8 solo tackles, 5 assisted, 13 total. He's the only one actually helped the team win, besides Patrick Peterson.
True. Let's move over to a little corner called Gold's Rankings, where I break down the rankings from both college and the NFL. And hopefully this time, these rankings will be on time.
We'll see what happens.
Let's see. 25 is NC State falling down by 8. Man, this team just can't find any form of consistency, but they're still in my top 25. 24 is Kansas State, remaining unranked. Well, they were unranked last week. Wait, remaining unranked? Wait, what?
Remaining unranked. Way to go, guys.
23 is Oregon State.
Also remaining unranked.
Last week they were unranked. 22 is Coastal Carolina, up by 3. 21, Florida State, up by 3. 20, Tulane, down 7 after losing to UCF at home. 19, Notre Dame, up 3. Ole Miss, down 8 after losing to Bama at home.
Suck it. Help those Hughes fans.
Yeah, definitely. 17, Washington, up 4. 16, Cincinnati, up 3. 15, UCLA, down 8. Something to notice, Washington's up 4, partially because they upset Oregon, which we'll get to in a second. UCLA lost to Arizona in Pac-12 fashion. Cannibalism. 14.
And they dropped big.
Oh yeah, big drop-o. 14, UCF, up 4. 13, Oregon, down 9. They're not going playoffs, even in general, even if they didn't lose this, essentially, because they underperformed all season, and that, honestly, has potential to be game of the year, though. I can't deny it. A lot of shocking stuff that happened towards the end of it.
Yeah, but winning matters more than exciting games.
Yeah. 12, Penn State, up 4. Alabama, 11, up 4. 10, North Carolina, up 4. Consistency is key. 9, Clemson, up 3. 8, Utah, up 3. 7, Tennessee, up 2. LSU clinching the SEC West, going to an SEC championship confirmed, up 2. TCU,
go Brian Kelly.
TCU, up 1. USC, up 1 into that slot for the college football playoffs. And 3, 2, 1 is Ohio State, Michigan, and Georgia. Georgia also clinched an SEC East spot, so we're going to get Georgia versus LSU at the SEC championship game.
Ooh, that comes with Brian Kelly's ultimate test. Let's see how he can perform under pressure.
All right, now time for the NFL rankings. Oh boy. Here we go. 32 Texans. Are you really shocked?
No.
31 Bears. I mean, they're showing a lot of heart. If they win, they can definitely go up. 30 Raiders.
So like 25.
Yeah, 30 Raiders. They're actually probably the worst team just by how you look at them. 29 Saints. Not that far behind the Raiders.
Tough speed, buddy.
Yeah, 28 Jaguars. 27 Steelers. Pigeon Ball Works. 26 Browns. 25 Rams. 24 the Falcons. Welcome back to the dumpster, boys. 23 the Panthers, and you'd think I'd moved them down, but no, they just moved up, but barely. 22 Broncos country. Let's ride. 21 Colts have better coaching luck with no coach than with any coach at all.
Crazy, right?
20 Cardinals. Cool. 19 Packers on the rise.
Hope
18 Lions on the rise. 17
so.
Bucks on the rise.
Hey, Brady.
16 left hand up. Who are we?
The Commanders.
15 Cincinnati, not moving anywhere because, you know, they had a bye week. 14 Chargers. Hello, Bolt Nation.
Let's cry.
13 Jets. 12
Let's fly.
the Seahawks. 11 the Dolphins. 10 Patriots. Gosh, this feels so weird saying they're in the top 10.
They just had a bye week.
9 the Cowboys. Yeah, it's more fitting. 8 the Bills. Flipping. 7 the 49ers. The most boring offense wins.
No, that's Titans, and it's not Derrick Henry.
6 the Titans. 15 the Giants. 15.
Let's go, Giants!
Hold on. 5 Giants. What did I say? 15.
Wait, is it 15?
I said 15.
You're used to it back then.
4 Eagles finally losing a game. 3 the Ravens. 2 the Chiefs, and
Minnesota is number 1. Who would have thought? At all.
I mean, if I may, just go to the beginning of the season, just real quickly. Let me just find that ranking and just see where Minnesota started.
We need to see, because Minnesota being 8-1 right now, being the top team of the NFL, no one expected this.
They started at 22.
And now they're number 1. And their only loss against Eagles, though, so it's not really the best of looks, but they just beat the Bills in a 17-point comeback.
Yeah, and actually the lowest that they were was 22. They've progressively have just constantly rose and rose and rose and gone up, so that's pretty impressive.
I mean, by this point, by Thanksgiving, they can glitch the division, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But now comes the fun times, which is predictions time for Week 11. So we kick off Thursday Night Football with the Titans versus the Packers. 2 teams I am extremely unsure of. Something is telling me in Lambeau the Packers are going to win. Something tells me the Packers are on the rise again. And I don't really like it that much.
I'm picking the Packers too because I remember that one game in the snow where the Titans offense completely collapsed against the Green Bay's defense.
Oh yeah, the snow was fun in that game. The only fun part of that game. Next, Bears versus the Falcons. I picked the Bears to win because Bears have actually proven to be a really good team that just can't close games out. And thankfully for them, Falcons can't do that. So this should be easy.
I picked the Bears. The Falcons defense won't be able to handle Justin Fields.
Next, we got Eagles versus the Colts. Oh boy, a game that might actually have chaos, but I pick Eagles. As much as I would want to be on the Jeff Saturday hype train to beat Eagles, I don't know.
I'm picking the Eagles.
Yeah. Next, we have Jets versus Patriots. Jets have not beaten the Patriots in Gillette since 2008, but part of me believes and hopes that they can do it, as I pick the Jets to beat the Patriots.
I'm picking the Patriots to beat the Jets.
And finally, we're not going to share the same ones like that one week. Next, Commanders versus Texans. The Commanders. By the way, Taylor Heineke is 4-1 as a starter. You'd be stupid to start Carson Wentz now. All I'm going to say.
Left hand up. Who are we?
The Commanders.
That's who I pick.
Of course. I mean, if you pick Texans, oh boy. Remember, I'm the one with 2-12, buddy. Next, we got the Rams versus the Saints. And I learned my lesson from last week. I'm picking the Rams.
I'm picking the Rams too. I give up.
Yeah, fuck this shit. Now we have Browns versus Bills, a very interesting game. I believe this is Watson's return game, and I don't care.
That
Bills.
return game's coming against Houston.
Oh, okay. Well, either
Still,
way, I picked
Bills.
Bills. I picked Bills.
Bills, yeah.
It didn't matter if he was there or not. I'm picking Bills. Next, Panthers versus Ravens. Ravens.
Ravens.
Lions versus Giants. Now, this game could possibly be game of the week. Like, it really could be. I picked the Giants to win. I don't know. The Lions defense has picked up the last 2 weeks, but it could be fluky. That's all I'm going to say.
This is going to be a close game. I can see the final score being 20-24. I'm going to pick the Giants, but I think Daniel Jones is going to have to make some magic to happen.
I mean, he's been doing really good this season. He was making some good throws in the Texans game. Next. Oh, fuck me. Raiders versus Broncos in their second clash of pain. I picked the Raiders to win. Because... why not?
I picked the Broncos because it is my belief that even the dumbest, most idiotic coach is better than Josh McDaniels. And also something to note here is the Broncos were close to winning that game against the Raiders earlier in the season, but that's whenever the Raiders still had hope. Now they've lost all hope. The Broncos are still riding.
I don't know. Josh McDaniels just wants to bring pain upon Denver for the rest of his life. So.
That's why he went to the Raiders. Still picking the Broncos.
Next, we got Cowboys versus Vikings, a game that should have been flexed for Sunday Night Football, but we'll get there. I picked the Vikings to win because Cowboys, y'all got lucky last week to even be in that position, and you screwed it up anyways.
I'm going to pick the Cowboys to win, and I'm going to tell you why. I feel like that Cowboys defense, much more stouter. They're coming off a very upsetting loss, right? I think they're going to start turning things around, and I think they're going to get to Kirk Cousins a lot. And also, remember, this is not a 1 p.m. game. This is an afternoon game. And anytime the lights are on, Kirk Cousins, even remotely, he struggles.
Actually, maybe that's a good thing this is on prime time. Next, Bengals versus Steelers. It's crazy that at the beginning of the year they had, in my opinion, the game of the year, and here we are. By the way, Bengals. Now here comes Sunday Night Football. Chiefs versus Chargers. I don't know who I pissed off to get back-to-back primetime games where I'm gonna suffer, but I pissed off Roger. I picked Chiefs. I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm picking Chiefs as well. I'm not going to be an idiot and try to say, oh, Chargers going to upset them. Chargers have shown no signs of offense in the second half. So Chiefs.
Or even the first half. Monday Night Football. Another game. By the way, remember at one point Monday Night Football games were supposed to be flexed this year? Why was 49ers and Cardinals not flexed? Because I do not give a fuck about this game.
I'm going 49ers.
I'm going 49ers as well. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. But
me either.
But guys, here comes the last topic, and Gold doesn't need to say anything on this. I will. Regarding podcast number 21. This should be a couple minutes, 2 to 3 minutes at best, just explaining what the topics are going to be for next podcast. So as you know, next Wednesday, gotta specifically say next because it seems like I forget to say the word next in these things. I'm going to be heading off to Philly for the next month. You're already aware of it, but you don't know what the next podcast has to be all about. So podcast number 21 is not going to have any sort of predictions. Well, they are, but we'll get there. So pretty much just going to be the obvious intro, but the recap is not going to be us recapping any of the Week 11 games. It's just going to be a screen showing the games that have already happened. And then we're going to be doing a discussion on the Coach of the Year, bringing up a few coaches who could be possible for it. Then Gold's going to be doing his playoff predictions for college football as well. Then we're going to be talking about how would Watson do when he gets back? Can he turn the ship, or will he fall with the ship? As well as the accusations. Then, the last thing to talk about will just be, I don't know, Week 12 to 17 predictions. Oh boy, that's a lot of weeks, but don't you worry. I think for fun, and I don't know if you still agree with me on this, but I think for fun we should count, the predictions like that, but obviously on the side actually predict it so there's an accurate one, and whatever we predicted it within a month span, just see what the difference is.
Yeah, I agree, and that's why I'm going to make sure to keep a list and keep track of all of my predictions of where the teams in the division are going to be going into the final week.
Because it would not be fair to count a month ahead of predictions against us, but it'll still be fun to discuss about when we come back. By the time I'm back, I think we'll be around Week 17 time. I don't know. We're going to go a little bit ahead, but if I'm back before Week 17, then obviously, we'll still, for fun, count those weeks, just because, why not? But
Chaos.
because chaos. And yeah, that is it for this podcast. I hope y'all enjoyed it. This one went by pretty quickly. We finally got our wish of actually having something that's under 30 fucking minutes. And yeah.
Took us 10 weeks, but we finally found the formula.
Let's go.